brother Sean, I see you. Big Bucks Benjamin, my bro. My brother, my bro, my bro, my bro. I see you. I see you. I see you. Quickly, guys, just give me a second. I'll be back. Just a second. What's happening, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? So I want to take a quick 45 minutes, 4-5 minutes of power, and I really want to try and help like a few individuals with their trading. I want to help people. I want to help people with their trading. I want to help people with their trading. Let's wait for a few more people to come in. Let me try to connect my AirPods. Hey, we're good. We're good. It's crazy when you have like a lot of Apple products in the house. Connects anywhere it wants to connect. But I want to share a few things with you guys. So I thought to myself that there's a few things that I want to share. Most stuff will be recorded on YouTube. So I'm taking a different angle towards my business and towards my career, my trading career. So I wanna do things a bit different, and that involves me helping people out. That involves me giving knowledge out, giving inspiration out to people. Because what I've noticed is that people are able to grow. People are able to grow when they have the right kind of influence in their lives, and that's what we're trying to bring in. We're trying to bring in, the right kind of influence. We're trying to bring in the right kind of energy for people to learn from, and that's what I want to do. Also, what I want to do is that there'll be a new YouTube channel that is strictly opened for free content, free information, free knowledge. So do me a favor after this. I'll share the link on my stories. And then you guys must subscribe to the page and also repost so that there's more people knowing about that page. So I'm going to do like a couple of videos on there. I'll do psychology videos, because what I've noticed is that there's people that record my content from my lives, but I never really get to post them. So there'll be a channel where I take time apart to record content for my YouTube, for people to be able to basically go on there to look for advices on psychology of trading, on technicals of trading. So I'll be doing those for free, because what I do is that I give out most value, I give out most knowledge and information to people strictly for free. So I want to do this quite often now and actually take it serious. So after this live, there will be a channel that will be created. It will be fresh, so it's a fresh channel that I'm creating, and I need you guys to go on there, subscribe, look at the stuff that will be on the channel. I'm praying to God to give me consistency to record every single time. That's what I'm praying. That's what I'm praying for. So tonight, what I want to do is I want to take a solid 45 minutes to cover basically two things. So I want to hit two birds with one stone. The first bit that I want to hit is obviously psychology of trading. And then number two, I want to come and help you out on implementing what you've actually built up in your mind onto the charts, and also specific things to look for whenever you're trading. That's also something that I want to do with you guys today. And I'm doing all of this, guys, to basically help individuals that want to trade. Sometimes it's always good to know how to trade, and that will be enough for you to afford whoever's course that you want to afford, and that can help you obviously scale up your trading. So with me, I started trading in 2017. I posted stories on my Instagram just now of chats that I had with a specific brother that I was obviously inquiring on. This was around September in 2017. I hadn't gotten my consistency by then, and I was inquiring about trading stuff and all of that. And obviously from that time, I didn't know how to trade, but then from there I ended up mastering my trading. I ended up knowing and understanding how to trade, And from that point, like my trading career changed altogether because then I kept on pushing and I found my niche in trading and I focused on that. The more I focused on that, that's the more obviously I got to understand certain concepts. That's the more I started making money. I made money, but I still needed a mentor. I still needed to understand how trading works altogether, like all around, which is why I ended up taking the Astro course that really helped and built who I am today. So it's always important to like keep on growing because once you stop growing, you die. That's one thing people must understand. Once you stop growing, you die. And people who are alive, people who are like actual people, keep on growing and advancing. And that's what I want to build. I want to build a community of people who know and understand how to trade so much that when you eventually need a mentor, you can just obviously DM anyone. I'm not saying come to me. I mean, my hands are tight, my hands are full. My courses are going up on the 1st of July. I'm going to 15,000 on my one-on-one, 5,000 on the online. My hands are tight. The reason why I'm doing this is because my hands are tight. I don't want to be mentoring for the rest of my life. So that's why I need these screens back on. Brings out a very nice feel and effect in the room. So that's not what I'd like to do for the rest of my life. So my courses are going up. That's obviously because of the time management factor. I struggle so much with managing my time right now based on the fact that I'm in other businesses as well. It's not just trading. I have to manage my personal life. I have to think about certain things that, I personally want for myself. So with me giving out time to people that eats up so much of my personal time that I should be using for my personal growth. So for that reason, I'm taking up my prices. People that will be mentored by me are people who afford to be with me and sit down with me, because also when I do mentorships, I don't really trade that much, so that kind of takes up my time of trading. So I need to give out as free information and value as I possibly can, which is what we're trying to do right now. So let me play something on the background so this thing doesn't get to switch off actually. Hold up. Whatever happened. So that's what I'm trying to. Free information that's going to help push you a step further into your trading. So today I want to focus a bit on the stuff that people need to know and understand on how to trade and what are the pros and cons. Number one, I want to focus on the psychology of trading. So psychologically, people don't really focus too much. For the Joburg class, that's the last class that I'm actually having for that low amount, and obviously we did that for that 2,500 price. That was in mind the special we had for June. So in June we had that give back for individuals that obviously wanted to come and be trained by us but obviously couldn't afford. So the Joburg one is still open. That's the latest one that's open. That's at that price. That low price. So it doesn't really do much of a difference. It's not money I could say I use up, because if you think about it, we went to Durban, we went to Cape Town. I mean, flights are expensive, accommodation is expensive, food that side is expensive, venues are expensive. So all of that is really insane. So 2.5, I mean, to be taught at like Durban ICC for like a whole flipping 3 days, how much is 1 day? So those kind of dynamics. So this was completely free of charge if you think about it. So number one, psychology of trading. Trading requires for you to be psychologically embodied, psychologically balanced. And most people actually never get to really think about these things, right? So most people never get to really think about this. So I want to play something on the background so my computer doesn't switch off, right? That's what I'm trying to do. Give me a second. So YouTube, anything that I can play, just to have my screen going, So that's what I'm trying to do right now. We have quite a beautiful audience. I see your comments, guys. I'll go through them in a bit. And I'll cover like beautiful stuff today. So I'll cover like really solid stuff today. The first one will obviously be the psychology of trading. And number two, I'm going to dive into the technicals of trading. And that can really be, that can really help most people get to understand. So this, okay, this is jazz music that plays for like a long time. So this is kind of like fine. So I can use this as background music as well. So this is like proper. So, just a second. So this is proper. Okay, this is solid. So psychology of trading, number one. So people don't really get to understand that trading requires you to be a whole lot more psychological than technical. And the reason behind this is obviously because people think that the most important thing in trading is to basically understand your technicals and understand how to analyze, blah, 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 which is, a part of an important aspect of trading, but that's not really the important part of it, because I've always said this, that there's so many people who understand how to trade, there's so many people who understand how to analyze, but people don't really get to be profitable, mainly because their psychology is probably not at the right place. So the minute people get to understand that, psychology is the one, then people get to grow. I see my brother James from Technical Effects in the house. Shout out to you, my brother. It's been a long time, man. Good to see you on the live. So people don't really focus on the psychological aspect, mainly because people think that the main thing to focus on in trading is understanding your technicals. Now think about it in this way, right? So there's technical strategies in the markets. There's a whole lot of technical skills. There's a whole lot of technical, approaches towards cracking and breaking down a trade setup. But even with the million strategies that are there, not everyone gets to benefit, not everyone gets to win, not everyone gets to be profitable from their trading, mainly because trading requires for you to be psychologically strong. I can make an example about what I'm saying right now. You can know how life works, but that doesn't mean that you will be successful in life. You can know what's required of you in life to be successful, but that doesn't mean that you will be successful. People that can be strong are tough people in the creation of time. So if it gets tough and you are a tough individual, you'll be able to face the storms of life and still be successful. That's how it is in trading. You need to be psychologically balanced well enough for you to be successful in the game of trading. Number one, there's emotions to deal with. People often ask me this question, that how do you deal with the fear of opening positions? Opening a position is quite a lot. People don't get this. If you open a position, you're a strong individual. If you get to open a trade, you're very strong, because you did something that most people have failed to do. You did something that most people couldn't do. So for you to be able to open up that position, that's actually quite a lot of it takes quite a lot of strength. It takes quite a lot of confidence. It takes quite a lot of bravery to be able to open up a position, because you're basically saying that you're ready to lose this amount that you are actually risking. You're basically saying you are okay with losing whatever amount you're actually risking. And that's something that can only be done by strong individuals. Number one, for you to get the strength to open up positions, be okay with the amount of money you're funding. That's where it starts. Be okay with the amount of money you're funding. People often take their lost savings, take whatever amounts they have stored up on the sides to be able to fund. And they fund with hopes of making it. It's okay to have hopes, but sometimes hope is not enough. So people fund with whatever amount they have stored up on the side, and they take it, put it into the markets. Once they put it into the markets, you find that these individuals actually are risking money that they are not willing to lose, which is the first problem that we have in the markets. So if you go to a club, or you go to the shop, you go to whatever place you go to, and you go with the budget, you can easily spend within the boundaries and parameters of your budget. You can order food at a restaurant and spend as much as you want, just as long as what you're spending is within your budget. And you will never ever see a person who works and who's functioning within the boundaries and parameters of their budget ever get uncomfortable with whatever they are spending. The reason behind that is because they've resolved in their hearts and in their minds that this is how much I'm willing to lose. That's the same thing with trading. You always need to be ready with how much you are willing to lose. If you are okay with the amount you're risking, everything else becomes easy. Everything else will become easy because you are okay with risking the amount you're risking. The reason why people get scared to open positions is because they are risking money they are not willing to lose. And that's the biggest problem we have in the industry of trading. That's why we have weak individuals who can only analyze but not be able to execute. So be okay with the money you are risking. And that is the first thing that will help you get to a point of being psychologically strong. So be okay with the amount of money so that you're able to open positions that will eventually pay you money that you will be able to later then enjoy. That's the first thing. Number two, be able to withstand drawdown. So drawdown is something that is there. Be okay with you being able to withstand drawdown. Now, in South Africa, mostly how we trade in a way that's not allowing for us to be able to withstand drawdown. People can open positions, but not all of us can withstand drawdown. The reason behind that is because we open positions and we open too much positions for us not to be able to withstand drawdown. And when drawdown comes, it comes with us not being able to withstand it because we didn't calculate enough, so much that we're able to withstand whatever amount of drawdown that's actually coming our way. So drawdown is the most important thing that you need to think about, that when you are buying at a previous low price. So I'll show you these things as we're going forward. So if you're buying at a specific area and level in the markets, be okay with the market pulling back at least to the previous low price before it can actually start shooting up your direction. There's nothing wrong with the market pulling back to a previous low price and pushing towards your intended direction. I mean, that's how the market works. The market will come, pull back to a certain level. After pulling back to a certain level, then push to the intended direction. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we cannot be able to withstand the drawdown that happens before the market can start shooting up, like today's trade. I mean, today I called out a trade in the signals group. The trade went back. I still held my positions. Trade went back and still pushed up with me, because what I did is that I topped up my account to basically be able to withstand the drawdown that was happening, because the risk that I had put in initially wouldn't be enough for me to withhold the drawdown. The money I put into my account was money I was willing to lose. That's why I was very comfortable with trading my positions from today, because I was able to withstand the drawdown that came with me being in that particular position. The market went down, never broke past previous low, market created a higher low, and the market just shot up. Like those buys, you saw the buys after a whole lot of emotions that I went through. There were emotions behind that trading position that I put out. So people need to understand these things, that you can never ever be successful in the industry of trading if you don't give yourself room for drawdown. So this is basic things that we need to understand. Be able to withstand drawdown before the market can push towards your direction, because in most cases, in many cases, people take positions, market pushes down, stops you out, and then goes up. And then you'll come back later and say, I actually saw this position, I saw this trade, but you saw it, took it, and still aren't there. Like you're not in the trade. You saw it, you took it, but you're not there. What is the biggest problem that came? The biggest problem that came is the fact that you were not calculative enough to withstand the drawdown that would come with you executing. Remember that you're not controlling the market. You're using technical abilities to be able to see and understand where the next technical move can potentially play out to. And if you're saying the market is buying, who said the market is going to buy exactly at this point? Can the market not pull back to a previous zone to basically bounce off of that zone and actually go up? So you need to understand these things. You need to understand these things, understand how these things work. Do not want to be someone else. Do not want to be me. Don't want to be my twin. Don't want to be another trader, Just be yourself. Like, don't be Tokyo. Don't be, I'm going to speak about my members. Don't be Bali Mox. Don't be Gino. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself and be okay with being yourself. You can never ever force someone else's method to your trading, because their thought process is way different than what you're obviously looking at. So be okay with trading in your own pace and in your own lane. I've traded with so many people that have made so much money than I have in front of me, and I made probably 50% of what they made, or even 30% of what they made, and I was still okay with that, because this is me who's trading. I'm focusing on my life and my career. I'm focusing on my goals. And that's okay for me to close whatever amounts. On the flip side of things, I've been with people who've closed 10% of what I'm holding, and they still fine, even though obviously you crave and desire to be at that point, but you're not influenced to get to my point before your time, or to trade like me when you're supposed to trade like yourself because you've got your own goals. So people have their own goals. People must understand that we have different goals, different targets. We will not have the same amount and numbers in our bank account. Someone that has 100 billion in their account is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to be now changing how I'm doing things. I'm not going to change my methods to now have 100 billion in my account. I'm not going to change my risks to have 100 billion in my account, because am I willing to risk what they have risked to get to 100 billion? Some people just generally do like crazy and dark things to get to wherever they are. Am I willing to take the same risk to get to the same level? No ways. I'm okay with doing what I'm doing to basically get to where I want to get to. So that's the first thing that you need to understand, that you need to be psychologically balanced. You need to be psychologically strong. You need to be psychologically embodied to be able to get to a point in a level and a space of excellence. Excellence demands practice, and over practice, you are able to perfect whatever you are trying to do. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk to. So I spoke about losing the fear of taking positions, and that comes from the fact that you're able to risk what you are willing to lose. So if you're able to risk what you're willing to lose, that gives you the strength to risk it because you're willing to lose it anyways. Risk money you are willing to lose. Money that's not properly calculated will be money that will not yield positive results. It will not yield them. You can try as hard as you want, but it will just not yield positive results because, you're not calculating on your risking. I don't believe in this concept of just try and force things and they'll work out. There's no forcing. Like we didn't get to Forex and became successful by chance. This is not by chance. This is basically not by chance. This is over years and years and years of practice, over years and years and years of discipline, over years and years of trial and error. So as we're trying the same thing, as we're doing the same thing, as we've been looking at different methods, looking at different things, trying out different things, we were able to find our niche. We were able to find our strategy that works personally for us. The strategies that have worked for other people, but for me, I've tried what I do with real money, and it's been working for me perfectly fine. You can see, you can see growth and progress over the years. If you look at my work now, not even my life is a different story. Look at my work. Look at my work, my chat work. From 3 years ago, from 2 years ago, from a year ago, from a month ago, from a week ago, there's obviously progress because every single day spent on the charts is a day better on the information and knowledge I have with the chart. So people need to also that you are risking money you're willing to lose, and that can really change your game big time. The minute I understood risk management is the minute I saw myself changing. That's the minute I saw my life changing. People don't really think that risk management works, but I'm a product of risk management. Manage your risk. Trading is risky. You could just fund your account and the market goes up the opposite way, blow your account. But how do you make sure that even after blowing the account, you're still in the game? That's you managing the risk and being able to risk money you are willing to lose. And that gives you the confidence and the psychological strength to open positions. That is how you eliminate being a good analyst over being a good trader. A good trader consists of both being a good analyst and executor. If you're able to execute trades and positions from the analysis you have, if the analysis plays out and you're in the trade, then you're a good trader. But if you're analyzing and the market goes towards your direction and you're not there, you're not a trader, you're just an analyst. So those are things that people need to understand, right? So that's things that people need to understand. So that's the second thing that you need to understand. First of all, be able to execute trade. That comes from you being able to risk the amount of money you are able to lose. Number 3, leave room for drawdown. That's what I was talking about. Be able to leave room for drawdown so that you're able to basically withstand whatever amounts of drawdown that come with you being in the trade. Don't take a position and the market pulls back to areas that are possible and you're not in the trade anymore. So be able to kind of calculate those things. Even 1,000 rands a day is enough to actually change your life. People don't know this. There's people who earn 20,000 rands a month, and those people are living flipping nice. Those are some of the people that live in the same estate as I do. They live in good lives. They live nice lives. They probably drive proper cars as well because they're able to respect money. That's another thing. Traders don't respect money. You always think that, you know, you have it all and you have it all figured out, which is always good. But I mean, just have a little bit of respect, man. Just have a little bit of respect. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's people who are earning less money, who are able to live better lives from whatever they're making, simply because they have respect for money. So be okay with making minimum amounts as you're starting out. So if you start out, be okay with making minimum amounts, because it's with the minimum amounts that you'll be able to make up proper amounts with time. So you'll be able to make up proper amounts with time. So be okay with making like small money. Just took a screenshot because I want to post it later. So be okay with making small money so that you are able to eventually make up big money. Listen, trading requires for us to respect it. If you don't respect trading, trading will not respect you. That's the simple rule of life. If you don't respect me, I probably won't respect you. You know what I'm saying? But if you come to me with respect, I'll show you respect. That's the same thing with the markets. Respect the charts are going to respect you. Give the market what it wants. The market demands of you to give it your time. If you give it time, that's what the market loves. I need to touch on this, right? So the market loves time and you love money. So if you give the market what it loves, the market will give you what you love. Note that down. The market loves time and you love money. If you give the market time, the market will be able to give you money. That's the most powerful thing I've probably said all night. If you enough to give it your time, the markets will respect you enough to give you money. That's how it works. That's how it works. Be a person that respects time. Be a person that's able to respect time. So what I see that comment, so basically the market is a girlfriend. 100%. Love the market enough to give it time. If you give it time, it's going to give you money. With everything that you invest time into, it's been proven in the past that if you put time into anything, time will amount to time. Time is money. That's where it comes from. Time is money. That's where it comes from. If you put in the time, that time will turn into money. That's why even now we charge so much, because you're taking from our time. That's all it is. Time and money go hand in hand together. So always be okay with investing time into the markets, and that's when you'll begin to see your life change. So that's part of the psychological stuff that you need to understand. So really do understand these things, that you really need to respect time. Please address the people on your live about the reinvesting your cap. 100%. So also like have room to reinvest your capital, because you know, like dark days will come. Ashley, thank you so much, my bro. Dark days will come. You know what I'm saying? So be okay with these things, like, and understand them. Like reinvest your money, expand your money to other avenues. And that also kind of helps you to have more money to risk into the markets for you to make greater amounts. That's another thing. So psychologically, that's the one thing that I would obviously advise you to focus on. Focus on those things and be okay with practically understanding those concepts. So psychologically, I think I've covered like not much, but at least I've covered something that can help you change. You understand? So do understand this. Like, be okay with giving the markets time. Once you invest the time, then you'll be able to make the money. So that's one thing. So psychologically, you've got enough stuff that can push you at least to understand how the psychology of trading works, how to basically execute positions, how to get to a point where you're able to put positions into whatever you're doing. So at least just like really calculate these things, think about them, see what you can do about them before you can go to the charts. This is just stuff that happens into your mind, like that happens in your brains before you can go into the markets. So the markets, totally different ball game. Psychology, totally different ball game. And by the way, the psychology of trading demands of 80% of the entire trading career. So if you're a trader, you need to be psychologically strong, at least 80% for you to be successful. If your technicals are 80% and your psychology is 20%, chances are you will probably not be successful. The reason why on a scale of 100 people, only like 20 people or 2 people are successful in the industry. So from a scale of 10 people, you have 2 people that are making money. The 8 people are losing money. So on a scale of 10 people that are trading, you've got 2 people that are really making money, and the 8 people are losing money. And these people are people that probably know the same thing. So everyone in these numbers knows the same thing, but not everyone will be able to make it. Why is this? Why is that? Because people focus too much on the technicals of trading, but not all of them will focus on the psychological part. 2 people that actually win are the 2 people that probably discovered that I need to be psychologically strong for me to be able to make it with time. I don't care about you making big money. I care about you being consistent. That's the thing. That's what really like sets us apart from most people. People are able to make big numbers, but not consistently. So consistency is one thing I preach about. Like, you need to be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. If you want to make money, make it consistently. Don't just come and make it once and then like the next thing you're done. Like, be able to make money consistently, and that can really help you get to a different level of your trading. So people need to get to that level of being consistent enough with their trading. So I mean, consistency can only come with you being psychologically strong, like psychologically balanced. So that's one thing that you really need to also focus on. So with these stuff that I've shared on the psychological part of trading, that's enough at least to make you a different trader from everyone else who's making big amounts. So consistency will eventually build to big amounts. Imagine if you can consistently make 1,000 rands every single day. By the end of the month, you've got what, 20,000 rands. If you can consistently make 5,000 rands a day, by the end of the month, you've got 100,000. Compared to someone who makes 100,000 rands today to lose 500,000 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So always gun for consistency. Be okay with being consistent enough to make whatever amount you are able to make. So that's another point that I want to put up. So let's maybe try and look at the markets. Let's see what we can basically come out with from the stuff that I've said. So there's also like technical aspects of trading that I also want to add to the list of stuff that I gave you. And the technical stuff that I want to add will obviously like add more sense into your trading. They'll add more discipline into your trading. They'll add more profits into your trading. They'll add more bullish days into your life. So that's another thing that I want to add. So we have about 10 minutes left, and I think the 10 minutes that we have left on the live is enough to basically give out the stuff that I want to give to you. So after understanding these things, now coming to the charts, right? So the charts, you always want to focus and understand the technical aspects of trading, understand how things work in the markets. And for you to understand how things work in the markets, first of all, it is very primary that people need to understand trends, because it's the trends that actually drive us into getting into the markets and being able to profit from the trends. Number one, be able to understand where the market is trending into. And you being able to understand where the market is trending into, that's you being able to be in the trade and understand where the market is going. Ashley Hestebeer saying consistency is key. Wrong mentorship programs equals invalid consistency. That is so true, bro. That's so true. So people always want to make big figures, but no one really wants to be consistent enough to make the same amounts. Guys, do you know what consistency entails of, right? So consistency is you hitting the same spot over and over and over again until you're able to actually break through. That's what the word breakthrough means. So I see people saying, yo, I need a breakthrough, but not a lot of people really understand what the word breakthrough means. Breakthrough means it's you hitting the same spot with the same pace, same time, same way, over and over again until you actually break through. That's what breaking through means. Like, you've broken through this space that you've been hitting for long enough with the same pace until you actually get to the. So that's what breakthrough means. Like, you're behind your dreams. You've got a system and a method that could get you to your dreams, but you're not there. So the one thing that's going to help you is you hitting the same spot over and over and over again until you actually get to the same spot that you've been dreaming of for years and years and years. So the first thing when you come to the charts, look for your trends. Number one, the trend is the one thing that will make you successful. Trend is the one thing that will make you successful. So if you are able to successfully identify a trend in the markets, you'll be able to know where the market is going to. So if the market is trending up, you always want to be buying. So that's the first thing you need to understand, because obviously if you don't understand where the market is going, if you don't understand the trend of the market, chances are you'll be trading towards the opposite direction of the trend, which is what really makes you lose money. Like today, there's people who sold on a buying market. There's people who really sold on a buying market. And if I speak about any market, just know I'm speaking about US 30 because that's the only thing I trade. Honestly, nothing else but that. So people sold today on a buying market. I wouldn't have sold for jack, for anything. I wouldn't have sold, regardless of the amount of rejections that I might have seen, with regards to the downward structure. I still wouldn't have taken it. Because I knew exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for buys mainly because structure has been bullish for the past couple of days. I mean, US 30 did actually kind of pull back. The pullback was nice. It was tradable. We saw like a bearish cycle happen for a couple of days. Even on the intraday cycle, we were able to see that bearish cycle that was happening. But right now, there's really no sells in the markets. And that's why I caught the buy when most people sold exactly where I bought. So I bought literally at resistance. People wondered, why is this guy buying here? Because there's this resistance. So I'm going to show you something quickly that might help you. If it doesn't help you, it will help someone, right? So if it doesn't really help you, it will help someone to basically be able to trade. So this is exactly where I bought in this market, right? Wait, let's do this. My goodness. Okay. So we're going to do this right now. Hold up. Is my camera wiped even? Is it wiped? Iconic wipe for the 3 plates. Jokes, guys. I'm not like that. You guys know. So right now, what we had is this. I'm not even looking at this like this head and shoulder you guys are talking about. I haven't seen any head and shoulder. I just saw a bullish structure, and that's what I want to show you guys quickly. So this was literally there when I started buying. So I bought this thing literally over here. This is where I bought, over here. So the market went down a bit to create that beginning of that H4 candle. And the market just broke out with me beautifully, nicely. Look at how many points I actually caught, like literally from there. Closed on the close of that candle. Caught 150 points like that, and I was done. 150 points, and I was done. Beautiful trade. Now, what made me buy before this, look at this. So we had this spike over there. We had the market rejecting exactly at that level. We had the market rejected that level as well, right? So Dr. Martens AirPods Pro nearby. Nah, bruh, we're not using you for now. Relax a bit. Relax. So right now, the market came into this area and rejected nicely. And from that level, this is where we were buying. So we bought exactly when the market was at resistance. Now, some people are saying it's Fibonacci, whatever. The Fib did justice there. That's beautiful. That was, sorry about that. So that was the Fib that happened. I don't deny it. That was the Fib that happened. But the Fib was also confirming what my eyes had already seen, obviously, even from my naked trading. So what really happened over here is that the markets established the high over here. Like, that was the most recent high we had, right? So even on this bearish cycle that we had, so the market was like pushing down, broke out of that level. So the previous high got broken out, got taken out, which is also like symbolic that the market is now changing direction. That happened beautifully. The market broke out, retested nicely, and has been pushing up. So from this, I've been looking at the market to come break past this current high that we have. Also, on the higher time frame now, on the daily time frame, the daily is actually looking quite sick as well. Like, you can see how this current low was able to hold in this market. So the current low held nicely as well. So if you look at that previous low, like it held nicely and the market started pushing from that level, like towards the upside. There was absolutely no reason for me to keep selling because the market faked out of this level. Monday's candle closed above. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, market was ranging around here. And then from that level, market started pushing up. Like this is today's candle. So with me, like even as the market was there, I knew exactly that the market was going to break out because the structure now held nicely with the previous low not being broken. I knew exactly that the market has to go up. If you need reference of this, you can go to a live that I did with Kels when I was explaining the buy and I was explaining why the market was going to buy even from this point. Like that's where I kind of saw the buy when I was on that live with Kel. So you can go check that out as well to see exactly you can check the buy from here. So that's the buy I spoke about. Literally from there, the market has been pushing up ever since. So from there, that's the buy I saw, and I explained why I saw the buy from there. Right. So even there, same thing happened. I really don't see the market going down. My grand has been trying to call me. I haven't taken her calls and she thinks I don't want to talk to her. So she's sending me messages on WhatsApp. So I need to finish up quickly. 3 minutes left. So the first thing, like observe structure and how structure has been able to play out. And the market got to this low over there, rejected nicely, and has now been pushing up. So if you think about it, structures like this, right? So structures like this. So the market can do this on structure, like push up, pause, push up, come back to that level and still push up, which is practically what really transpired over there, that the market actually came to this level, tested it again, and is now ready to push up. So I'm looking at the fact that we'll be breaking past that high that's now created over there. So that's the first thing that we actually, that the market is like now bullish. So that's the first thing you want to establish. If the market is bullish, then you don't want to be selling. The market was bullish. That's why I bought, because the market was bullish. From that point, you now have to then understand. So you look for your direction for one. So direction for one. Number two, look for possible entry areas, possible entry points, because after identifying your direction, you still need to understand where you want to come in, still need to understand where you're going to enter. So with me, I understood exactly where I want to come in based on my my convergence that I had. So with the confluences that we have in the Convergence 4.0, I was able to understand where to really enter there and where to allow for the drawdown to actually be. That's the second thing. Number three, then you need to then implement the stuff that you did, that you did on the psychological part of it, to be able to execute this trade. Now that you've technically understood where the market is going, be able to then now execute the trade. And the fourth one is to know when to come out. Know when to come out. Once you understand fully where to come out, the game changes. It becomes a whole lot better because you really know exactly where to come out. Once you know and understand where to come out, then you've built up a system that will really and truly change your life. So you'll really change your life. So that's one thing that I wanted to tell you about. Be able to understand where the trend is going. Trade towards the direction of the trend once you've established that. Number two, know when to enter and know where to exit. And also understand the psychological aspects of trading and be able to implement all of these to have a system that will really change your life. That's all I wanted to say. So comments are too much. I haven't read comments ever since I started the live. I think I have over 500 comments in this live. And I will not be going through the comments, guys. I'm trying to go through them and it's just too much. So these are like the few things that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope this live really changed your life. And also don't forget, there'll be a YouTube channel that will be created. The link will be on my stories. And the YouTube channel that is created is specifically created to share more about the stuff that we spoke about today. There will be videographic memories, obviously videographic archives to help you understand my trading method and psychology, and that will all be done for free, as I did say even as I started. So if you came in late, you're more than welcome to go back to my to my IGTV. This will be saved to my IGTV. And you can obviously look at this, be able to understand my method, be able to understand my strategy. And that will really, 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 really help you change your trading career. To some extent, that will help you change your trading career. I believe that after today, like, you should be able to see profits in one way or the other. Even though I didn't really give you a strategy, but I mean, I really did drop some gems to your trading that should really change your life. And that's more than important. So, yeah, I will not be able to go through all the comments. That's just a lot. Honestly, that's just a lot. And it's 20:46, so a minute late to ending the live. But you guys must have a proper trading week, and peace out.